A project has cleared appraisal and value for money. It's not a PPP yet, it's still just a plan. This lesson is about turning that plan into an actual contract structure, starting with the single decision that shapes everything else: who carries which risk. The core tool here is the risk matrix. For every risk the project faces, construction delay, demand shortfall, currency movement, regulatory change, the matrix asks one question: which party, public or private, can actually manage this risk better? Whoever that is should bear it. This is the same principle from Chapter 1, now applied risk by risk instead of as a general idea. A few categories come up in nearly every PPP. Construction risk, cost overruns or delays in building the asset, usually best managed by the party actually building it. Demand risk, whether enough users show up, which the private partner can influence through design and service quality, but not fully control. Availability risk, whether the asset is actually available and performing to standard. And political or regulatory risk, changes in law or policy, which the government is usually best placed to bear, since it's the one making those changes. Here's a mistake worth naming directly. Pushing every possible risk onto the private partner isn't smart risk transfer, it's the opposite. A partner asked to bear risk it can't control simply prices that uncertainty into the deal, often heavily. The government ends up paying for risk-bearing capacity it never actually got, because a risk nobody can truly control doesn't disappear just because the contract assigns it to someone. In practice, a completed risk matrix feeds directly into contract drafting. Each named risk becomes a specific clause: who bears the cost if it happens, what remedies exist, what triggers a renegotiation. This is where the abstract idea of risk transfer, first introduced back in Chapter 1, actually turns into enforceable contract language. Once risk allocation is settled, one major structuring question remains: how does the private partner actually get paid in a way that reflects that allocation? A contract that allocates demand risk to the private partner needs a very different payment mechanism than one that doesn't. That's exactly where next lesson picks up. Quick recap: the risk matrix allocates each risk to whichever party can manage it best. Common categories include construction, demand, availability, and political or regulatory risk. And piling every risk onto the private partner isn't risk transfer, it just makes the deal more expensive. Next lesson: how payment mechanisms are designed to match that allocation. That's Chapter 5, Lesson 1. Subscribe to follow the rest of the course.